Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome back to another week of Let's Talk with Casey and Mike. We're jumping into a topic on this evening, which will be the discipline of a man. So, as always, we invite you to comment, text, you know, just drop in and join into this conversation again because it's just us talking. Let's talk with Casey and Mike, and we're gonna kick it right off. Mike, got anything to say before we dive in?
Yeah, when you came to me with this topic and we were kind of talking about it, kind of make it really simple because for me, um, the mind is very strong. Um, so once you overcome your mind, then almost anything is possible. I mean, even the Bible says, once you control your mind, then you can, you know, I forgot the exact verse, but so this is what I do. When I go running, or not running, when I walk and jog, um, for me, it is just make your legs keep going. Just I'll not hurt, but it's like I want to stop, but I have to discipline myself to keep going. It's not always about running, staying in shape. It's about mind over matter.
Hmm.
So when you think about that, that's one simple thing I do when I'm running or whatever. But the discipline of a man is not just for that man.
Right.
When you are disciplined, it affects everyone in your life.
Hmm.
Just like if you are undisciplined, it affects everyone in your life. Um, Overcoming things that we once did when we were boys. You no longer do those things because now you have lived, you have this discipline. You have discipline. You have a job, we make money, we do all these things. And so it's like, oh, I want to go out and get me a motorcycle. Well, you can get a motorcycle or you can pay your bills and get your kids what they need and do all
Right.
these things. And that is where discipline comes in. You are no longer a child. You have to act as an adult, and acting as an adult means that you have to increase your discipline. Now,
Hmm.
people say, "Oh, that's just a bad thing. That's just discipline." I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. Well, that lack of discipline leads to so many other things. I want to spend money on what I want. That means you're going to take away from the mouths of those who are around you. I want to watch TV all day. Well, what about spending time with your wife and your kids?
Hmm.
Well, I want to go and drink at the bar every time I get off work and get drunk. Well, that's going to affect those around you. And so it's not only um, being self-disciplined and doing things better for yourself. There are people who depend on you, and you can't always do what you think that you want to do because it's usually out of a selfish kind of I want to do what I want to do. I don't care what nobody else thinks,
Right.
and it has a negative connotation through it, and it ripples through. I know I need to be to work on time, but I'm tired. I'm just gonna call in sick. Well, no, that there's a certain discipline that you build up, and I
Hmm.
know your dad. You know my dad. They are disciplined men. They're men who, but and people might not they might not even like that. Some people are like, oh, they're just too disciplined. They're no fun. They're no whatever. Well, I mean, look, you have a family, you have children, you have grandchildren, you have
Right.
all these things. So their discipline affected you, and so you became more disciplined, and then your sons are going to become more disciplined, and your daughters as well become more disciplined because there is it's more to life than just getting what I want when I want. That discipline makes things better for others.
You said,
And so go ahead. I'm sorry. Hit it, cuz.
yeah, you said something earlier, and it makes a ton of sense. And it was one of the points that I wanted to make. What men do when they are disciplined is they do hard things on purpose.
Yep.
Men do hard things on purpose. You brought about the gym. I always tell my kids, like, look, it's always easier to do the wrong thing or do the
Yeah.
feel good thing or the
Yeah.
fun thing. Like
Right.
I've said before, if you had a plate of pizza and a plate of broccoli, the pizza's more fun, it's more tasty, but which one is better for you? You
Right.
know, there's a discipline that takes place in everyday decision making of a man. You
Right.
know, work out when you don't want to work out.
Yep.
Do the last two push-ups, you know,
Yep.
because there's strength in straining.
Yep. That's
There's
right.
a there's a discipline that comes along with you doing something that you know you're supposed to do that you don't want to do,
Yep.
and it's not fun.
Yep.
I mean, you do the things that are hard. It's not fun to have hard conversations,
That's
but a
right.
disciplined man will have a hard conversation,
That's right.
whether it's something that doesn't make him feel good, whether it's something that doesn't make the person he's talking to feel good. A disciplined man has those conversations. They don't just, you know, shut up and think things is going to work itself out by distance and time and
Yep.
silence.
Right.
No, we have the conversation. We bring it to the forefront, um, taking responsibility instead of making excuses. You
Yep.
know,
That's right.
that's when you stop becoming a boy and turn into a man, when you
That's
no
right.
longer make an excuse,
Right.
but you take responsibility for it. If I was wrong, I was wrong.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm
That's
not
right.
making an excuse. I'm not trying to, sugarcoat what happened. I'm not trying to sugarcoat what we just discussed. I'm not trying to water anything down. Taking
Mhm.
responsibility, you know, when you're younger, the first thing you do is wanna make up an excuse or make up a lie, you know, to get out of trouble. I'm a grown
Mhm.
man. What kind of trouble am I gonna get in?
That's
You
right.
know, there'll be some uneasiness. There'll
Yep.
be, you know, some cold time and you just don't want what the natural mind doesn't want to think about. Like I
That's
don't
right.
even want to think about having to go talk to this person about, you know, them being let go or demoted or but
Mhm.
you gotta have it. You,
You
you
gotta
you
have it.
gotta have the conversation if it's
That's right.
if it's what needs to be necessary in order to move on. The
That's
other
right.
big thing is keeping your word,
Yes. That's right.
not just to others, but I think a lot of men fail when they don't keep their word to themselves.
That's right. That is absolutely true.
When
That
they
is
set
absolutely true.
a personal goal and don't follow through with the goal.
Because there's no one else to hold you accountable but you. And when it's only you, it's easier sometimes to say, I'm just gonna be. But if you have that discipline to hold yourself accountable, then if you can do it when nobody's looking, then it becomes easier to do it when other people are looking. And
Right.
so and so it is just something like I've been on jobs that I did not like. I didn't. I had my daughters were in college. I was putting up with things that I'm like, I don't have to put up with this stuff. But in order for my children to get what they need and for my wife to get what she needs and for me to get what I need, I have to put up with these things. I have to put up with certain things. Now there are certain things that you shouldn't have to put up with, but
Right.
there are certain things that you should. It's like, oh, this is uncomfortable. I don't want to do this. But you know what? It's better that I be uncomfortable than they be uncomfortable
Mhm.
because I come and say, hey, daughters, hey, children, I had a rough day, so I'm just going to quit. I mean, no, you can't do those things you want to do. We can't afford to do that because I was uncomfortable and I want to be comfortable all the time because I want to be happy all the time. And I want to do
Mhm.
what I want to do all the time. And so you guys are going to have to suffer because I don't feel like having to put up with this stuff. That's no way to be. It's no. And so a real man, and I'll put that, a real man, just because you a male does not mean that you are a man, because I know plenty of 30, 40, 50-year-old people who are not men. They're male. And it's like, who are you to judge? Well, I'm here to judge because there's a certain standard you got to hold up to. Now, am I a man like my dad? No, my dad had to put up with way more stuff than I did. Your dad had to put up with way more stuff than I did, and I'm grateful that we didn't have to put up with that stuff. We still have things that we have to deal with, But when you start thinking about the things that our forefathers and our ancestors had to put up with, and the discipline that they had to have to sit there and say, I can just punch you and I'm done with it, because there are consequences with it, or that there are things that are going to come. And
Right.
so I'm grateful for, my dad. I always thought, like, he just mean, he just, man, he just whatever. And you can attest to this. There are certain things that my dad wouldn't let me go, that I couldn't go to. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't he just let me go? It's not hurting nobody. My friends went, and I have no idea why he would let me. But then you'll hear that next day, oh, you better be glad you didn't go to this. You better be glad you. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what he knew, but I'm grateful. And I'm not sure. I know he didn't take pleasure in it, but
Right.
there's a
Right.
reason. And not that something's going to happen every time I say no, or you say no,
Right.
or our wife say no. But it's a reason that you have to be disciplined, and you can't let your kids or your coworkers manipulate you and say, "Hey, I'm
Mhm.
not coming into work." Man, you should call in sick, because I'm a grown man. I make my own decisions. I'm
Yeah.
not doing that just because
Yeah.
you want to do it. And being
When
in meetings and having to hear things, it's like, okay, just
yeah.
get up, because we got to do
When
it.
when fun takes the back seat to responsibility, that's when
Yep,
you becoming a man.
yep,
When fun
yep.
takes that step back from, being the forefront of everything that we do,
Mhm.
there's got to be structure. You got to plan your day. You
Yep.
got to minimize the distractions. You know, as a kid, as an adolescent, as a teen, even as young men, you want to be on the game, or you want to do things that are just
Hmm.
fun. And if you categorize fun, typically most times fun is a waste of time. It's a
Most
waste of
times,
time. You you
it
you you
really
you
is.
can be on a video game for 5, 6, 7 hours easy. That's 5, 6, or 7 hours that you will never ever get back. That
Yeah,
you could have been doing something
yeah.
positive, either for yourself, for someone else. You could have been doing something in ministry. You could have been helping somebody that needed help. You could have been making money. You could have been, earning, a degree. There's
Helping your neighbor. You could have been helping your neighbor. You could have been
so
doing
many
something else.
other things that you can be doing, um, when you focus on being a disciplined man. And I heard you say a real man, and I don't want to, have people hear this and feel like, oh, they saying I ain't no real man. No, that's not what we're saying. I don't know what every man does with their day, but I do know there are disciplines that you have to have. My discipline may not be your discipline.
Right.
That it may not be your discipline. Like, you may be. I got a good friend of mine who, like, when we talk sometime, he uses foul language,
Right. Right.
and I'll get aggravated with my gators or something. He'd be like, say it." No, I don't need to say
All
it
right.
to
I
let
mean, that's right.
this
That's
is
right.
my displeasure, but I don't.
Yeah.
My discipline is that I don't have to let it out like that.
Right.
I'm
Right.
displeased. I ain't betting no money on them. It's just my
Right.
team. I love my team, and they playing like a bunch of what's out there. So,
Right.
but I don't have to let those things out, as
Right.
well as on the flip side, being a father, being a person in the community, being a person at work. It's just certain things that you have to stop yourself from doing. I'm sure every man, something has happened where you want to rise up.
Yep.
You want to rise up, but like you said earlier, you alluded to, I got a family,
That's right.
I
That's
got a
right.
mortgage.
And you
I,
can't let it overtake you. You,
you
you
can't
can't
let it
you can't let
overtake
your
you.
feelings overtake you. Because trust me, yeah, I know that you do. I know that I do. We are
Yeah,
put in situations where I just want to be done with this. I could just end this,
yeah,
and I'll feel good for about 15 seconds. But the ramifications of that decision are going to ripple for months and years. Because if I say this to my boss or my director or whatever, I'll feel good. It's like I told them off. Now I'm going to the Indeed.
yeah. Now there's a professional respect There's
Absolutely.
a level of respect that has to come along with anything that we do. We can't be disrespected or degraded.
Right.
But you know how many men I know that allowed their little member
Yeah.
to take control of
Yeah.
a 2 minute disagreement
Yeah.
at work, and then
Yeah.
they out of work for 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, 6 months or
Yeah.
longer, and
That's
then they're
right.
looking crazy in the face.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
now you replaying the situation
Yeah.
like nothing in you was playing the situation out right then.
Yeah.
Nothing in you was playing the situation out right then. You got it all off your chest. You said everything you want to say to him. You called him every word in the book and probably made him feel this big for a split second.
But guess
But
what?
but dude clocking in tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
That's right.
dude got a job to come to tomorrow. You got to go home and probably gonna lie about why you don't have a job.
Absolutely.
Because you're gonna feel this big when you go home
Absolutely.
and tell your wife or your significant other or whoever
Yeah.
that, or your parents, some of these undisciplined men, they living with mom and daddy still. You're
Yeah.
gonna feel this big when you have to
Yeah.
go home and say, if you're honest, oh, I told him off. He said this to me, and I told him off. Well, what happened? Well, I mean, I can't let nobody disrespect.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
What you? Oh, so you a big bad. You
Yeah,
a
it's
big
your
bad
fault.
at work, but you can't come and be big bad and tell me what happened.
Yeah, that's right.
Nobody don't be big bad when they come home. Ain't nobody come. I lost my doggone job. That's what
Yeah.
happened. Oh, oh, you come home with a very, nice
Different
little
story.
story
That's right.
when you
That's
had
right.
to be, you were undisciplined. Now you got to face the music.
Yep.
But
Yes, that's
we
right.
have a responsibility as men, as fathers, as husbands, as as leaders. Just from afar, there are kids that are looking at us that doesn't have a father.
Yep.
Like they look at you from a distance and they see, how this man carry himself, how this
Yeah.
man operate, and his character and his integrity.
Because
And
people looking
anything,
at you. That's right.
yeah,
That's
and
right.
anything that you operate with outside of that,
Yeah.
it's it's terrible. It puts you in a terrible place. It keeps you in a terrible place. And then you really have nowhere. It's just a never ending cycle.
Yep. That's
It's a
right.
never ending cycle. Like I hear so many men that I don't need no counseling. Well, how you gonna ever get rid of this thought process? You
Yeah.
think it's just you just gonna grow out of it?
Yeah. All of a sudden, yeah.
You you already 45.
Yes. Yeah.
You
Your
you
life more than halfway over.
you 60. It ain't
Yeah.
went nowhere yet.
Yeah.
Would you handle it like hey, go to your scripture,
Yep.
go to mentorship, get some counseling, you know. But at the end of the day, it still is you that have to make the decision to shut up. It still is you that have to make the decision not to grab that woman when she frustrates you. It's
Yep.
still you got to make the decision not to leave home slamming doors and cussing.
Right.
It's you that have to face the music and say, you know what?
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about this later? Because I am getting a bit frustrated. And I can tell you are too. I can tell you are too. So I think if we come back to this later, like, can we put it in the parking lot? Can we table it for now?
Yeah.
Let's table it for now. Then find something to laugh at. Find
Yeah.
something that lightens the mood,
Yeah.
and then you can come back and you can finish up when it ain't so much contention.
But that takes work.
Yeah,
That takes work. And
yeah,
you know what? I know. Uncle Jay and my dad. Don't get me wrong. When we're talking about becoming a man, they had their faults, and they
yeah,
do, and things that they need to work on. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, my daddy would never go to counseling. They ain't going to counseling, but things are a little different. Are different now,
yeah.
and so they did things differently. But we had to take what they learned and say, you know what? Let me try and do better. Let
Hmm.
let, let me try and do better.
Hmm.
And so, I don't want people thinking that, oh, so Michael and Casey, y'all just mean that. We still have a ways to go, but this is a process. And we were boys, we were young adults, we made mistakes, we did things
Plenty.
that we shouldn't have done. and we probably there's things that our parents and uncles and aunts and told us we should have done that we didn't do. So don't think that we went from, oh, I'm listening to church. Yes, sir.
We just talking. That's what the name of the show is. Let's talk. We ain't
Yeah,
claiming to have all the answers. We
yeah,
ain't claiming that we professionals.
yeah,
We here to talk, and hopefully people will chime in and get a chance to talk about things that they may not be able to talk about with their
yes.
wife or with their husband or with whoever. We just talking. We just giving our opinions, the way we think about certain things. If it's wrong, then we're sorry. If it doesn't apply, then we're sorry. I don't believe we're gonna tell you nothing wrong, not on
We're trying
purpose.
not to. We're trying,
No,
yeah,
I don't believe we're gonna
that's
tell you
not our
nothing wrong.
purpose.
But no, we carry on. But no, we definitely don't have all the answers. We are certainly not perfect.
And to piggyback off of that too. So
We
so
see you,
growing
Caleb.
up, hey, what's up, boss? I thought when I was in my mid to early 20s, I thought stupid stuff like once I grow a beard, I'm gonna become a man. That's that. I had these stupid things in my head where if I do this, then I'm a man. Had nothing to do with actually becoming a man whatsoever.
Nothing. Nothing.
And,
Absolutely nothing. I
and
know it did
so,
because I had a beard when I was still a teenager. So
cause you was handling business with your facial hair, you was handling business. But that's what I thought. I thought that if I make a certain amount of money,
right.
once I get to this, then I'm a man. And you start hitting these, you start reaching certain these little stupid small goals. It's like, that's not quite it. But what did start happening is when you start making hard decisions,
Hmm.
uncomfortable, and then like 6 months or a year after you made that hard decision, and you're like, glad I did that because this is the outcome of me sacrificing or me doing something that was uncomfortable. And it's like, okay, so if I discipline myself to do this, then this is the outcome. And I begin to grow and I begin to mature. And then I begin to see like who I am. And it's
Right.
like, oh, okay, okay. So I can't have fun all the time. I can't always go out with the boys. I can't do this. And they're gonna be like,
Right.
oh man, you whip, man, you whatever, whatever. Hey, check it out. My wife is happy at home. My kids are getting what they need, and we're not going at each other's throat. Well, you
Yeah.
can go out with the boys. I mean, and I will sometimes, but there
Yeah.
are certain times where it's like, no, not tonight, or I need to come home with this and what. And you know me,
Time
and
management.
you, okay, you can talk about me all day long,
Could care less.
but that's discipline too. That
Yeah.
being able to not let the world or your friends or your job dictate the decisions that you make. That's when you start to make that turn. You start to
Yeah.
make that turn as, you know what, I don't have to be led by others because others aren't going to be there when the results of your bad decision hit.
Yeah.
You stayed out with your boys at 3 o'clock in the morning. All right, Mike, you take care. You have a good one. Now I have to go home and I have to share all of this stuff with my wife. But they don't care. They care less.
You
They
gotta face that music now.
Now I got to face the music. Now I got to face the music because my boys were they were like, you just gonna let her? It's just respect.
And it's not even about, there you go. You said it. It's just respect. It's not about having a cold bed. It's not about, being whipped. It's not about, having fear of coming home. There's a
Right.
certain level of respect that a man with discipline wants from his spouse as well. How you
Right.
gonna feel if she came home 3 o'clock in the morning?
That's right. That's
How,
right.
with nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
And if you are, it should be planned. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to a game in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Game gonna probably get out about 11:30 at night. I'll probably be home 1:30. I'll
Respect.
probably be home
Re-
2 o'clock.
You
You
made a
know,
plan. You let it
and
know.
if you're
Hey,
anywhere that your spouse can't reach you or you can't call you, then what you there for?
yeah, that's right.
What you there
That's
for?
right. That's right.
What are
That's
you
right.
there for? I see you, Charity. How many nights friends gonna let you stay on his couch?
I,
Yeah,
but you still got
yeah.
to go home. You're right.
Nah,
You have to stay on my couch tonight, but tomorrow you still got to go home and you have to deal with it
right,
because you wanted to have 3 hours of fun of doing whatever you consider fun. And so it's like, well, was it worth it? In the
man.
grand scheme of things, it's not. It's not worth it. Again,
Mastering
you
your
hmm,
no, I'm going right off of what you said. Mastering your impulses.
that's right. Your
You
impulses.
have you have to master your impulses. You have to, um, when it comes to whether it's spending money, the way you
Yep.
react when you're angry. That
Yep.
don't mean you're not angry. That don't
Yep.
mean we can't show anger. It's
Yep.
just what you do when you're angry.
That's right.
That's the discipline of a man.
Yep. That's
That's
right.
the discipline of a man. Wasting time. Wasting time. My wife will tell you if I'm unless we've made a decision that we're gonna sit down and we're gonna watch a show together, it's like I need to do something. Whether it's from the neck up or from the neck down, I need to do something. Like
Yep.
there'll be time to rest, and I know when it's time to rest. My body lets me know when it's time to rest. But again, like the fulfillment of completing something, the
Yes.
fulfillment of
Absolutely.
doing something around my home or
Yep.
doing something for my family or doing something for a friend. It's like that's just a fiber of my being. That's who
Yep.
I'm created to be. That's that serving
Right.
spirit,
That's right.
and I think all of us have it to a
Yep.
certain extent. Some
Yep.
people, they don't want to help nobody outside of their home. Some people don't want to help nobody that don't look like me, or I
Yep.
don't want to help nobody that don't go to the same church, or
Yep.
I don't want to help nobody that ain't helping themselves. We
Yep.
have all of these things. It's like,
Yes.
man, stop,
Yep.
stop,
Yes.
stop. Let's take ownership of our own decisions,
Yes.
not blaming.
Yep.
Don't have no. And this is the thing where I think most men and I'm getting ready to say something right now that's probably going to be accepted a little, sideways, but it is what it is. A
Handle
lot of
your business.
men who haven't had men in their lives,
Mhm.
they tend to take on the emotional state of the women they've been raised by.
Mhm.
And it's not even an undisciplinary thing. Is that a word?
What disciplinary?
Undisciplined. I said undisciplinary. It's not that they aren't disciplined when they haven't been taught how to be disciplined.
Mhm.
Like, how are you going to know that you're undisciplined if you've never seen discipline? Like,
And but how are you going to take discipline? How
how you going
how,
to take
how are you
this?
going to take it? How are you going to go and play football when he's like, you get down and do what did it? You can't
Yeah,
tell me what that. And
yeah.
and so discipline is taught. It is taught. And
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 and kudos to the women that have instilled the discipline that they know into the men in their lives. But at some point, get your sons, if you have sons, get your sons around some positive men. If they're not around their father, if they can't be with their father, get them around some positive men so they can learn some men traits. Like I know some men that are men,
Mhm.
but it's almost like I don't know.
I do. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I
I
don't know.
do.
But they've been around women their whole life.
Yeah.
They've been around women their whole life and they never had that separation, never, were given the chance to be around men that operate as men. It's a difference when you're around males.
Mhm.
You said this earlier. A
Mhm.
male and a man are two totally different things.
Two totally different things.
A male
And a
just has
girl and a woman are two totally different things.
absolutely,
And no
absolutely
matter if you have single fathers, there's not a lot of them. Let's say you have single fathers and you're raising a daughter, you can
right.
only do so much. When she start going through stuff that you haven't gone through, you better get an aunt, you better get an uncle, you better get a whatchamacallit, because there's just some things that we didn't experience that they need. And so, oh, and this is that thing that you were getting ready to say. A woman can raise a male to do certain things and so on and so forth.
But
But you can't raise a man to
them,
be a man. And you
they
know
have
what? And I'm being fair. I'm being fair here. I'm gonna do both
to
sides
see
of the
your
coin.
nephew.
A man can't raise a woman to be a woman. He can't.
At all.
He can't do it. And you say, "Well, I've done it, and I can do it." I hear you, but there are things that they are missing on both sides. There are things that they're missing. I'm going to read what Charity just said. It says also start with commitment you make with your spouse when you first start dating. You got to talk about what will and will not be tolerated and what each wants in life. Now, okay, so I'm gonna jump on this for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So when women are dating men, it should not take you more than a half a date to figure out if you have a man or not.
It don't take long.
It does not. It does not take long. It does not. You have some manipulators who can talk a good game, but it's about action. It's about what they do. It's about now when they say something, it's how they say it. It's what they do. But you have to be discerning. You can't just like, oh, this dude, he looks good. And he's saying he's just doing this, and all you're doing is looking at him. You looking for a world of hurt because yeah, he might look good, but he's not going to always look good. He's not. And your wife is not always going to be super fine and beautiful. She's not. Things are going to change. And you know, yeah, my wife is still pretty. Your wife is still pretty, and all those things I understand. But that is not going to hold you together when the kids are gone, and you're like, do I like you? I mean, do you like me? It starts so much. It starts way before. So
when you don't have that cohesiveness, as a couple, that's the question that a lot of parents have to ask when the kids are grown and gone.
And it's real.
It's like, well, do we like each other?
That's right. That's right.
Like
That's real.
There are a lot of couples that won't spend time by themselves, just them. They gotta have a distraction.
That's right. That's right.
They gotta have a distraction. They gotta have a third wheel. They gotta have a child, or they gotta have another friend or another couple, and that's cool. That's cool. But if you can't spend quality time with your spouse without distractions, without the TV having to be on, without, the phones, without just me and you, and we're talking about whatever. We're talking about life. If we can take out the job, take out the kids, and take out the foolishness that's going on with family, if we don't have nothing, that's a problem.
That's a problem. It is.
Take all of that out. Take all of that stuff out. Take out the job. Take out the kids. Take out whatever foolishness that's coming in from, let me not just say family, because friends bring a lot of foolishness too. Take that out and see what you got. And if you don't have it, then you got to put some building blocks back down.
Yeah.
You got to start.
That's right.
You got to start, introduce yourself again.
That's right.
Introduce yourself again. Because
Tiny said you got to be friends first.
You got to be friends first. Those are the best. Right. Those are the longer lasting marriages. People that, especially in this generation, not, before, the 70s and 80s, people would get married and they would just stay committed. They would just
yes.
They would just stay committed.
Yeah.
But again, they were almost going through the same thing. They didn't know each other, but they were committed to the process. And that's part of marriage too now.
It is.
That's not saying that listen, hear me clearly. There is never a time when I'm saying, okay, we don't like each other no more. We don't get along no more. We don't share anything in common anymore. Let's split. No. Trust me, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is take time to rebuild.
That's right. Because don't think for 1 second that Tanya like me all the time. Because she don't like me all the time.
No.
It's just one of those things. And we get past it. There is ebb and flows. It really is. It's ebb and flows of life. But it takes discipline to know I love you. We're in this. We have to find that ground. We have to talk. We have to figure this thing out. But don't think that when you get married, because people think when they get married, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have butterflies all the time.
No,
No,
man, we don't
sometimes you're
like
gonna
that.
have rough.
Think about it like this. Who do you like 100% of the time?
I don't like nobody
I'm
100%.
like, I be mad at myself sometimes. Why you so stupid?
Yeah,
You know, it's like, no, that's
yeah,
not how this thing is.
yeah.
And the discipline of a man is not to let your frustration come out
That's
with
right.
your um dislike.
Yeah,
Not to let your frustration. It's all about how we react when we're angry.
that's right.
Ain't nothing wrong with being angry.
Right. That's right. Because it will happen.
The scriptures say in your anger, don't sin.
Right.
Don't
You
sin. So
will.
when I'm
You
angry,
will be
I ain't
angry.
finna cuss you out. When I'm angry, I ain't finna put my hands on you. When I'm angry, I ain't slamming no door. When I'm
Yeah,
angry, I ain't finna tell you about yourself. When I'm angry, I ain't, I'll
that's right.
bump you and going off for, 2 or 3 days. No,
Yeah,
that's not. I'm angry. So what I'm finna
yeah,
do, I'm
yeah.
finna go outside and get me a tool and go
And
put this fence up that I wanted to put up two
I'll cut
months
the
ago.
lawn. That's right.
You know,
That's right.
and and you keep it moving, and you
Yeah.
keep it moving, and then you come back together again.
Because it's discipline. It's just
It's discipline.
marriage is love and fun times and hard times. But marriage, more than anything else, it might be discipline.
You know
It might,
what? I was a part of a conversation one day, and out of the conversation, um, this question was posed. So you saying if you don't love me anymore, or if you don't, I can't remember all what was a part of that conversation. But if we're not getting along, this and that, we just gonna stay married. I'm sitting here looking like I'm waiting on the answer to this. Like, bro, you need to speak up and say, yeah, like quick, like,
yeah.
cause none of those. All right,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
that's what
why
this
that's why
is.
so many things go down because you didn't make me happy today, so I don't want to be with you today. And so yep, I'm gonna move on. Well, you're gonna keep on moving on because like you said, there is nobody in this world that
Right,
you
right.
love all the time. Sharon Watts,
What
you
y'all
should have
talking
been
about
listening.
tonight? It's scrolling on the bottom. The discipline of a man.
You should return, go
Feel
look
free
at
to
the
dive in now, but we're
yeah,
talking about the discipline of a man, the discipline that it takes for us to be men,
yep,
for us to
absolutely.
be men. And it's certainly something that we can continue going over and
Yep,
over and over and dive deeper and deeper and deeper. But thanks again, y'all, for the comments and
appreciate
everything.
it.
It's always uplifting to us to see what people what spectrum everybody is on, where
Yep,
everybody is at, because we've been able to help some people and some people have also been able to help us.
absolutely.
So it's been great. I'm gonna read this last one, man, and then we're gonna move. We can't be afraid to love the changes. The most important thing I've learned is to keep your marital affairs between. Whoa, boom, 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 boom.
Charity, you win tonight. You win tonight,
Don't talk to
Charity.
your boys. Don't talk to your girls. Don't talk to your mama or your daddy, cause you win. You
Charity
win.
won
That's
tonight.
the that's that. We ain't talking about marriage tonight, but marriage is a part of discipline for the man.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
that right there, keep everybody else out your business,
Yep,
including your kids, including your parents.
that's
Because
right.
when y'all do come back together, guess who looking at wifey sideways now?
That's right.
Guess
That's
who
right.
looking at wifey sideways now? Guess what friends ain't coming back around now? Because
Uh-uh.
you don't went and said this or that and the other, and that was your side. There's one side and there's the other side. Then there's the truth.
That's
So
right.
you you always got somebody looking sideways when you share your story.
Yep,
When
absolutely.
all you got to do is lock into the one that you committed. That's
Yep,
the discipline. But again, y'all, let's talk with Casey and Mike. We
yep.
are out.
We love you guys. Take care.
Peace.